Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's sport video. Going to have a look at weather for 10 to 14 days for today's sport video. Day 10 will take us to 21st of March, and we'll be able to extend that beyond that with the excellent GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe around a couple of weeks, we'll have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, gets us into the early part of April, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was 6 AM upload with also release weekend forecast and the EC 42-day forecast UK and Ireland. Check out those two videos if you'd like to. Like, share, and subscribe on the vids. Thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. Number 40 subscribers, that's all, 40. Will get us to 15.7k. We have been putting on subs very quickly over the past few days. All of this cold and snow weather. Thank you so very much to all of our new subscribers. Please make yourself known to us through the comments and the live chat on the live streams when we do them. And thank you so much for giving us your subs and, helping to grow the channel. Though, if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. Please give us a sub, tell friends and family to subscribe. And let's get to 15.7k and ultimately 16k is our ultimate target. Wow. I don't know. I wonder how long it'll take us to get 16k. Exciting, won't it, when we get there? Right, anyway, let's start off with the CT. So, second temperature is probably about as low as it's going to go now at 3.5, which is over 2 degrees below average. Having a very cold first 10 days to March, to say the least, when you think that January overall came out 5.2 and February at 6.5. So the first 10 days well below CT for both January and also February. Not that far off December CT, actually. So a really cold first 10 days to March. We are going to see that levelling off, and it will actually tick up a little bit through the early part of next week. Some milder weather on way, getting back into the fours, I think. And they'll probably, hold steady around there. It's going to be turned colder again through the middle part of next week. No sign of any sustained warmth, so I think this will be colder than average month. It just depends, how cold it will be. That's the only question now, I think. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for next couple of weeks. On Eastbourne today. So the red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Eastbourne. Another suggested location for this part of the video, by the way. Now, we're starting off colder than average at the moment. We are going to see the upper air temperatures picking up over the next couple of days. As I said, it's going to be turning milder tomorrow and Monday, and then we're back into the chill again through the middle and second half of next week, becoming cold once more, especially Tuesday into Wednesday. Looks really quite cold then. Beyond that, just generally around or a little bit below average. So by the end of the week for Eastbourne, the upper air temperatures are ticking back up closer to normal. But you'll notice the white line, which is beyond southern, stays quite cold, or stays a little bit below average anyway, right the way through the extended range with the GFS ensembles. Maybe a more defined sort of cooler, colder interlude there around the 21st to the 24th, 25th of March, something like that. Possibly right at the very end. Just a hint that we might see something a little bit milder towards month's end, but of course that is a really long way off. Precipitation-wise, going to be further bouts of rain to come. Of course, I mean, for Eastbourne, it will be primarily rain going further north. There could be some snow through parts of central and northern Britain. Check out weekend forecast for more about that. Temperature anomalies from the 11th to the 19th March, going to be below average, cold average week to come. Not as cold as it has been, mind. And precipitation anomalies should be 11th to 19th of March. They're going to be wetter than normal in most places. Latest wind map from urbanlowschool.net shows that we've got milder air waiting in the wings. So we've got an occluded front through here, and behind that we've got some milder air from the west and from the southwest heading in. Ahead of it is still quite cold, and so as this occluded front comes across the country through the afternoon and into the evening, there could be further snow in central and northern regions, but it will turn back to rain. Tomorrow we will all be in these much milder southwesterly winds. that won't last for long. So by the time we get through the midnight on Tuesday, place UK Met Euro Run shows that we're back into northerlies again. A cold front pushes southwards and eastwards across the country overnight Monday into Tuesday. Takes a bout of rain, possibly with some snow on the back edge, and then we open the door to those Arctic northerlies once again. Ridge of high pressure builds through the country on Wednesday, turns us dry, but it will be cold under that ridge. And then through Thursday, low pressure comes back in from off the Atlantic. That's coming into the cold air, so on the northern edge there could be some snow. Where the divide is going to be a little bit uncertain in the second half of the week, probably in the north, could be a little bit further south. Looks unsettled and certainly not overly mild. Low pressure brings spells of rain, could be snow for northern areas with that scenario, and definitely still not spring. Icon, again, bring down that cold front overnight Monday into Tuesday, opening the door to those cold northerly winds. Then into the second half week, low pressure in off the Atlantic coming into that cold air brings risk of snow for northern and northeastern regions, rain further south. If the divide is further south, the divide line, the back line is further south, then the rain snow risk will be further south as well. As we head into Friday, again, Scotland remains in those cold east winds, so seeing cold and wintry there, southwesterlies further south, so milder, and outbreaks of rain. By the end of the Icon, it looks like we're raising the heights over Scandinavia and threatening to start turning wind into the east. This is how the GFS midnight rains. Looking again, that cold front coming southwards overnight Monday and Tuesday. Now, quite interesting because that cold front forms a little area of low pressure there on the GFS midnight run, which actually brings a spell of snow to parts of the Midlands, Northern and Eastern England. Not sure about that, but it is one to watch. We might not get the cold front through all that quickly. Anyway, northern winds will follow along behind, so it turns very cold again through the middle part of next week with another northerly blast, and low pressure starts heading in from off the Atlantic through the second half next week. Rain, sleet and snow, particularly to the north and the east of the weather front. So that would be for Scotland, northern parts of England, but the divide could be a little bit further southwards. Into next weekend, the low pressure begins to run out of steam, high pressure starts to build over Scandinavia, so eventually we go into a battle type scenario between high pressure and low pressure, and heights start rising around Greenland as well. It starts to force the low pressure southwards, so around just beyond day 10 we begin to pull in much colder northeasterly winds again. That's the 22nd of March, and with that off and running into another spell of quite cold and wintry weather with winds in from the north and from the northeast. The delayed spring goes on and on and on with the GFS midnight run. Eventually we start to build some high pressure. We try to build some high pressure over the country, but it doesn't really come to much, and we still have this sort of low pressure knocking around the country by the 27th of March, and still not particularly warm with that. I'm not particularly mild. We're still on the cold side of the jet stream, so chilly and showering right way up towards month's end there with GFS midnight run. Missing precipitation forecast based on that GFS midnight run, I should say. For today, we've got this band of rain, sleet and snow pushing northwards and eastwards across the country, so particularly through Scotland and also Northern England. Could bring another 2 to 5 centimetres over high ground, rain further southwards. That will get out of the way later on in the night and we turn much milder. Tomorrow looks thoroughly wet and also very windy for England and Wales with gale force winds in places. We may have issues with flooding where we've got that deep snow cover. It's going to melt very quickly. There will be heavy rain combining with that, and so there might be a little bit of flooding actually with this. That's Monday morning. Heavy snow returns to Scotland as the cold air begins to dig back in from the north again. Meanwhile, it's mild, wet and windy elsewhere. And through the course of Monday, we find that cold front heading southwards forms a little area of low pressure on it overnight Monday and Tuesday, which brings significant snow to parts of Wales and Midlands and also Northern England. Again, I'm not sure about that. It is possible that could happen if the cold front stalls and forms an area of low pressure on it. I think the most likely scenario is just that the cold front will push through very quickly and simply, maybe a little bit of backhead snow, but nothing significant, and then we're into cold northern winds. But each one to watch. It's still a couple of days away, so a couple of nights away, I suppose. So it is still one to watch. Lots of wintry showers then. as we go through into Tuesday. They die off on Wednesday, and then through Thursday, we find more rain, sleet, and snow coming back in from off the Atlantic again, particularly so risk for northern, central, and northern regions on Thursday. But again, it's about a week away, or just under a week away, so the divide could be somewhere a little bit further southwards. We eventually turn much more towards rain, and all of that starts to drop southwards. So by the time we get towards day 10, the cold northeast is digging back in again, and the rain is turning to snow once more with those northeast winds. So quite a wintry GFS midnight run, to be honest. Now, this was 6 then, and the GFS 6 then does not store that cold front, it just pushes it through very quickly. So we don't get the snow through Wales and Midlands on the GFS 6 then. We just, overnight, Monday, Tuesday, we just push cold front through, and then we're into those cold northerly winds once again. And then in the second half of the week, low pressure bringing further unsettled weather up towards day 10, trying to pull wind back into a colder northeasterly once again. Just a hint of spring, though, by the end of the GFS 6, we've got a bit of a ridge building up from the southwest this time, from the Azores, and that is a much milder place for a high pressure to build from. So the GFS 6 eventually gets us to a little bit of spring by the 27th of December, by the 27th of March, I should say. But remember, that is right at the very end of GFS 6, and so it's therefore unreliable. Precipitation forecast based on that GFS 6 run, rain, sleet, snow pushing northeast across the country today and tonight. Then we're into wet, windy and mild weather Sunday through to Monday. Rain turns to snow again through Monday across Scotland. Significant snow in places. Cold front comes southwards overnight Monday into Tuesday. There it is, but not forming an area of low pressure on it. So it's just take advantage of rain, possibly with a little bit of back-end snow, but nothing like we had on the GFS midnight run. And then we're into those cold northwesterly northerly winds, bringing lots of wintry showers. Thursday brings another band of rain, sleet and snow in from off the Atlantic. Eventually turns back to rain as that milder air pushes up from the southwest. If you enjoyed the video, please do you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. And why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. GM, again, bring that cold front samples overnight Monday and Tuesday, taking a band of rain, sleet and snow samples, and then opening the door to very cold northern winds once again. Cold and wintry for the middle part of the week, and then into the end of the week, we find a band of rain, sleet and snow pushing northeastwards, followed by milder air with outbreaks of rain. That low eventually starts pulling away to the south and the east, and by day 9-10, we bring cold air back in from the north and from the northeast again. That is 21st of March, back into northeasterlies once more. They will be cold if that comes off. And ECM looks like this again. That cold front pushing southeastwards on Monday night and Tuesday. Introducing those cold northerly winds. And then the second half of next week with rain in the south, cold and upper snow, though up in the north with wind still in from the east. Eventually the ECM sort of getting rid of that area of low pressure, starting to bring the wind back in from the east once again temporarily, till low pressure returns from the west. Proper duel between low pressure and high pressure there, and no real sort of spring-like weather anyway. Precipitation forecast based on that ECM run shows rain, sleet and snow pushing northeastwards through rest of the day and tonight. Then we're into mild, wet, windy weather, gale force winds Sunday into Monday. Turns colder again from Monday, Tuesday with northerly winds and wintry showers in northern and western areas. Quiet stuff for Wednesday, but cold, and then more rain, sleet and significant snow through some parts of the country during the course of Thursday. And then we're in sort of rain and wet conditions right way up towards day 10. And still not particularly mild at that point either. Means there'll be options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 21st of March. 20 members of the ECM ensembles have a trough of low pressure over the top of the country combined with a ridge in the Atlantic up towards Greenland. That looks like it's going to be quite cool, cold and unsettled, chilly and unsettled. Really 19 though with high pressure through the country. That's going to be mainly dry. Probably a bit on the chilly side when you're probably coming from a northerly direction. And then 12 with climate control and the operation run. A little bit better, high pressure way to the east. That would have much more of a southeasterly type flow, so that should be drier and also quite a lot milder as well. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets 26th of March, 20 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure in the Atlantic going up towards Greenland. Another trough in over Scandinavia. That looks potentially quite chilly, possibly cold. 18 with high pressure over to the northern coast, that will bring the wind in from an east or southeast direction. That should be dry and probably milder. And 13 with low pressure over country, looking very unsettled and quite wet then in 2 weeks' time. So a range of options really for the latter stages of March. So let's reach to finally these are 500 millibar height anomalies broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 11th to 17th of March. Coming week has low pressure to the north and the east with high pressure out towards Greenland. Winds are in from the north, so it's still quite chilly really, quite cold in the week ahead. Week 2 is going to be the 18th to the 24th of March. Low pressure to our north and west, some high pressure building to the northeast. Still on the cold side, but jet stream with that. Jet stream still running to our south, so unsettled and chilly. Week 3 is going to be the 25th of March to the 31st. High pressure originating to the north, low pressure around Spain. That's probably bringing an easterly flow. Might be a bit milder with winds in from more of a southeast direction. But look at week 4. It's the 1st to the 7th of April. High pressure is back out in the Atlantic again with a trough of low pressure to our east. That's probably going to bring the wind back in to a cold northerly. And so the delayed spring lasts all the way into April on today's CFS run. We shall have to wait and see about that. It's a long way off. Okay, we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please say you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. And please give us a sub, tell friends and family to subscribe as well. We did put on 40 subscribers, as I say, to get to 15.7k. So please give us a sub, tell friends and family to subscribe. And thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. Right, just so coming up tomorrow, we're going to have a 6 a.m. upload. The second summer update is on the way as well tomorrow, looking at February data with that one, and there'll be a 10 to 14 day for you in the afternoon too. So keep checking back to the channel for more content for today's video. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely rest of your Saturday, and bye for now.